Questioner. Thank you. As we near the end of this master cycle, there may be an increasing amount of catalyst for entities. I am wondering if, as the planetary vibrations mismatch somewhat with the fourth density vibrations and catalyst is increased, if this will create a slight amount of more polarization, thereby getting a slightly greater positive harvest because of this catalyst, and in the same way create a more negative polarization, and then get a slight amount more negative harvest by this mechanism of transition, that is, unfortunately, somewhat more catalytic than it would be if the planet had reached a higher state of consciousness. Does this happen? Ra. I am Ra. The question must be answered in two parts. Firstly, the planetary catastrophes, as you may call them, are a symptom of the difficult harvest rather than a consciously programmed catalyst for harvest. Thus we do not concern ourselves with it, for it is random in respect to conscious catalysts such as we may make available. The second portion is this. The results of the random catalyst of what you call the earth changes are also random. Thus we may see probability possibility vortices going towards positive and negative. However, it will be as it will be. The true opportunities for conscious catalyst are not a function of the earth changes, but of the result of the seniority system of incarnations which at the time of the harvest has placed in incarnation those whose chances of using life experiences to become harvestable are the best. Questioner. Is this seniority system also used in the service to self side for becoming harvestable on that side? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. You may ask one more full question at this time. Questioner. What I would like for you to do is list all the major mechanisms designed to provide catalytic experience that do not include interaction with other self. That is the first part of the question. Ra. I am Ra. We grasp from this question that you realize that the primary mechanism for catalytic experience in third density is other self. The list of other catalytic influences. Firstly, the Creator's universe. Secondly, the self. Questioner. Can you list any subheadings under self or ways the self is acted on catalytically to produce experience? Ra. I am Ra. Firstly, the self unmanifested. Secondly, the self in relation to the societal self created by self and other self. Thirdly, the interaction between self and the gadgets, toys, and amusements of the self-other self-invention. Fourthly, the self-relationship with those attributes which you may call war and rumors of war. Questioner. I was thinking possibly the catalyst of physical pain. Does this go under this heading? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct, it going under the heading of the unmanifested self, that is, the self which does not need other self in order to manifest or act. Questioner. Do we have enough time left to ask the second part of this question, which is to list all major mechanisms designed to provide the catalyst that include action with other self? Do we have enough time for that? Ra. I am Ra. You have much time for this, for we may express this list in one of two ways. We could speak infinitely, or we could simply state that any interaction betwixt self and other self has whatever potential for catalyst that there exists in the potential difference between self and other self, this moderated and undergirded by the constant fact of the Creator as self and as other self. You may ask to this question further if you wish specific information. Questioner. I believe that that is sufficient for the time being. Ra. I am Ra. Do you have a brief query or two before we close this working? Questioner. Just a minute. I don't think that anything I could ask at this time would be brief enough. Just a minute. Yes, here is one question. Is there any difference in violet ray activity or brightness between entities who are at the entrance level to fourth density positive and negative? Ra. I am Ra. This correct. The violet ray of the positive fourth density will be tinged with the green, blue, indigo triad of energies. This tinge may be seen as a portion of a rainbow or a prism, as you know it, the rays being quite distinct. The violet ray of fourth density negative has in its aura, shall we say, the tinge of red, orange, yellow, these three rays being muddied rather than distinct. Questioner. Just as a slight appendage to that question, what would the rays of fifth and sixth density look like? Ra. I am Ra. We may speak only approximately. However, we hope you understand, shall we say, that there is a distinctive difference in the color structure of each density. Fifth density is perhaps best described as extremely white in vibration. The sixth density of a whiteness which contains a golden quality, as you would perceive it, these colors having to do with the blending into wisdom of the compassion learned in fourth density, then in sixth the blending of wisdom back into an unified understanding of compassion viewed with wisdom. This golden color is not of your spectrum, but is what you would call alive. You may ask one more question briefly. Questioner. Then I will ask if there is anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable, or to improve the contact. Ra. I am Ra. This working is well. You are attempting to be conscientious. We thank you. May we say we enjoyed your vision of our social memory complex drinking one of your liquids while speaking through this instrument. I am Ra. I leave you in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth, then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator. Adonai.